September 1967, Helicopter Combat Support Squadron 7 was commissioned at Atsugi, Japan, as the only combat search and rescue squadron in the United States Navy. The men are known as Sea Devils, with their call signs Big Mother and Clementine. The squadron emblem, Cerberus, the three-headed dog who guards the gates of Hades, remains as the guardian of mercy for airmen in peril over North Vietnam and the Gulf of Tonkin. The following is a tribute to those men who gave so much so that others might live. The aircraft carrier USS Kitty Hawk operates off the coast of North Vietnam. In the ready rooms, the maps of Vietnam remind us of our area of operations, while in the Combat Information Center, plot boards illuminate the darkened room, giving off an eerie glow. On the flight deck, weapons are readied for an alpha strike against the North Vietnamese forces. 250 and 500-pound bombs, CBUs, Sidewinder missiles, all are loaded on aircraft for the upcoming mission. One by one, aircraft are readied for launch on the catapults. An A-5 Vigilante prepares to launch. Its mission, to photograph the results of the bomb damage after the strike. This plane and its two-man crew will be last off the target, flying at low level, and a sitting duck for the North Vietnamese missiles and ground fire. Once formed up, the aircraft fly overhead en route to the target in the north. These air crews now have the most dangerous mission. Flying deep into enemy territory, they must evade MiG fighters, surface-to-air missiles and anti-aircraft fire, deliver their bombs on target, and then return home safely to the carrier. An HC-7 Big Mother rescue helicopter awaits its turn to land aboard USS Midway as her aircraft return from the mission. The Sea Devils have been at sea around the clock since arriving on Yankee Station, and by the end of the war in 1973, our rescue detachments compiled an incredible record of 2,300 consecutive days, or 6½ years on search and rescue duty. Da Nang, South Vietnam is a welcome spot to rearm, refuel, and take a break from the tempo of carrier operations. They call it Rocket Ground Zero, but the clubs have cold beer, and it's a chance to feel the earth under your feet again. The perimeter is lined with gun towers. Revetments of sandbags protect the helicopters. Some helicopter crews work out in the open, wherever they can find space. Da Nang Airfield is a very busy place. The Vietnamese tend to laundry, wander amongst the sandbag barracks and bunkers. 50-gallon barrels of sand, stacked too high, protect the ground floor from rockets and shrapnel. During the day, they might collect garbage from the mess hall. At night, they could be VC for all we know. It's a crazy way to conduct a war. You never know who is friendly here. Air Force F-4 Phantoms take off and land around the clock, along with other aircraft. The countryside is mountainous inland, with the coastal areas covered with rice paddies as far as you can see. Flying over the jungle canopy, it's easy to see why locating a downed airman is so difficult. We receive a mayday call from a pilot on the ground calling for rescue. He can hear us but can't see us yet. Using his PRC-90 radio, he directs our helicopter to a clearing close to his position. We pull into a hover. Everyone is searching for our survivor. Suddenly he sprints into the open, waving a red panel. Just below us, 1 o'clock, hoist going down. Moments later, he's safely aboard and we're hauling tail out of there. He'll live to fly again. Chalk up another rescue for Big Mother. HC-7 Det 110 maintains search and rescue crews in the Gulf of Tonkin aboard any ship which can provide us with a place to land. These ships position us as close to the North Vietnamese coast to launch when an aircrew needs rescue. Our crews rotate every 60 to 90 days, and our helicopters remain as long as they can fly. The Big Mother crew prepares to come aboard USS Stanley. This will be home for the time being. Here we can get a hot meal, and if we're lucky, maybe a shower and a few hours of sleep. While waiting for the ship to prepare for our landing, we practice approaches to the deck and other maneuvers in flight. Training never stops, even in a hostile environment. We work as a team, constantly learning one another's jobs. Pilots and co-pilots take their turn at weapons using the minigun and the M60 machine guns. Crewmen learn to assist at the cockpit and help spot for the pilots, who can become very busy during a rescue. We don't want any mistakes when a man's life is on the line. The deck looks small and even smaller at night, but for now it's a welcome sight on a large ocean. This is the business end of the 7.62 minigun. It can deliver up to 6,000 rounds a minute and definitely keep the bad guys' heads down if need be. Chief of Naval Operations Admiral Zumwalt comes to visit the troops, and getting the latest from the top guy means a lot to the men. This far from home, mail is slow and package is slower, but to hear it straight from the CNO himself, well, that's a big deal out here. With all hands gathered on deck, the Chief of Naval Operations gives us the latest on our mission, new rules and regulations, and answers questions from the crew. Other ships of the fleet pull alongside and pass in review. Proud sailors, one and all, stand at attention on deck. A fitting welcome to this admiral who has made so many new changes to naval policy. Who could ever forget his infamous Z-grams during these days? resupply ship comes alongside an aircraft carrier. Cables and hoses are passed between the vessels. Now fuel oil for the ship, jet fuel for our aircraft, and needed supplies are transferred. H-46 helicopters shuttle back and forth between the ships, delivering pallets of bombs to the flight deck. Missiles are high-lined by wire, coming very close to the churning water between the ships. There are even light-hearted moments out here on the line. The ship's cook puts on his Hawaiian shorts, dons his favorite cap, and oversees a Sunday barbecue on the fantail. This is a special treat, and all hands take time out to forget the war, with thoughts of home and barbecues yet to come on our return to the U.S. Some of Det 104's crew clown around with big mothers, when suddenly 2 F-4 Phantoms returning from a mission in the north buzz the ship. But then it's back to business, and patrolling the North Vietnamese fishing fleet can be dangerous. We've moved off the coast near Haiphong Harbor. The bombing of Hanoi and Haiphong has resumed, and we are constantly on 5-minute alert to launch. SAM missiles are shooting down our aircraft on a regular basis, and rescues are taking place almost daily. They look like fishermen, and most are, but they can be armed with automatic weapons, and rumor has it they might have handheld heat-seeking missiles. There is a reward for captured U.S. airmen, and anyone ejecting over water hopes our helicopters can reach them before these junks find them. As we pass overhead, we keep our weapons trained on each boat. They wave to us as we pass by, and seeing the minigun gives anyone second thoughts about firing at us. Better safe than sorry. We continue northward while the days fade into one another. Our helicopters are ready to launch at a moment's notice, and the waiting is the hardest part. We share the deck with our smaller squadron helicopter, the Cayman H-2. When her crew wants some flight time, we get airborne so they can launch. It's crowded on deck, but we all manage just fine. We're a tight-knit group, and working together is part of what makes us so successful. So the wait continues, hour after hour. We eat and sleep in the helicopter, awaiting the sound of a rescue beeper over the radio on guard channel. During breaks in the action, we maintain our helicopter. We practice gunnery, clean weapons. Hours of boredom interspersed with moments of sheer terror, I've heard it said. Then it's launch and fly to a preposition for a big strike in the north. We get low on fuel, and finding a small buoy, we in-flight refuel alongside the ship, since it's too small to land on. To fly is heavenly, but to hover is divine, a helicopter pilot once remarked. Well, when you need a drink of fuel, hovering works just fine. And then it happens. A-5 Vigilante hit by SAM missile over Haiphong. 2 parachutes sighted just inside the harbor. Big Mother 6-7 and our bird, Big Mother 6-6, are headed in for the rescues. We swing the minigun out the door. I'm getting into swim gear for the rescue. You can feel the helicopter vibrate as our pilot squeezes every bit of power out of her. Jet exhaust blows in the open door. It's hot. Your heart is racing with the beat of the rotors. We pass a destroyer coming along the coast and into the harbor. She'll provide cover for us against the coastal guns. The harbor mouth comes into view, then splashes in the water. Coastal batteries are firing on us. The rounds are falling closer as they try to get the range. Our destroyer returns fire as we head into the area. Everyone is at their station, keeping a lookout for junks, gunboats, and our 2 survivors. Our front door gunner keeps a lookout from his M16 machine gun. Now we're in the harbor. We must be close. There, off at 9 o'clock, a smoke. Man in the water. Get ready to jump 10 feet at 10 knots, then I'm out the door. 6-7 moves in on the other survivor. I'm hooked up with my crewman and ready for pickup. Here comes 6-6 to haul us out on the run. I can see the harbor as we're reeled in, spinning beneath the helicopter. The crewman pulls us up and in the door and yells, "Let's get the hell out of here," over the intercom. There's time for a quick photo of us, me, Mac, and Lieutenant Coots. He's one happy airman. No Hanoi Hilton for him. Just like clockwork, all in a day's work. 2 more rescues for Big Mothers and HC-7.